got a secret underneath. Yeah, she's this naughty little freak. She likes to put on a show. She likes when it takes control.
Lions at the Packers. Lambeau Field. Lions have won 5 in a row. Stat that we used earlier on PFT Live that blows me away. They've got 25 touchdowns in their 5-game winning streak and 20 incomplete passes in their 5-game winning streak. They're favored by 3.5. We don't know whether or not we're going to see Jordan Love. I have a feeling we will. I have a feeling that for the same reason he made his way onto the field for Week 4 against the Vikings, he's going to be out there for Week 9 against the Lions, over under a 48. You've picked the Lions and the Packers to win every week this season, so something's got to give, unless you're going to predict a tie.
Not predicting a tie. Okay, there's none of that out here. But we know Detroit's the best team in football right now. Nobody's playing better than them. I do think if there's a team that can hang with them talent-wise and aggressive play, offensive, big runs, throw the ball down the field and match them, it's the Green Bay Packers. Like we saw last year. They went in there on, what was that? Was that Thanksgiving last year or whatever it was when they played Detroit? And put it on them. They have a similar style and structure. That's what's awesome. But ultimately here, the thing that scares me is the Jordan Love thing. He has yet to play really good. Here he is again dealing with an injury, not being able to practice fully against a team that's full go, full systems go. We're hitting on all cylinders in every phase of the game right now in Detroit. So because of that, I'm taking the Lions. I think this is going to be a fun game. I think it's going to be high scoring. But I'm going to take the Lions 38-28 just because I don't trust Jordan Love and where he's at right now to be able to match Jared Goff back and forth in a football game all day long.
I've already picked 31-28, and I see the Lions now are 3.5-point favorites. So I'm going to give the Packers the cover. I think they'll find a way. And Love may not practice at all this week. They were talking about that yesterday.
Right.
Forget about limited. He may not practice at all as he tries to recover from that groin injury. But even if it's Malik Willis, I feel strongly enough about the running game and the defense that I think they can find a way to keep it close. I don't think they'll win, but they'll keep it close.
When Malik Willis plays, just real quick, it does change things for Detroit. It does. With Jordan Love, you don't have to worry about quarterback design runs, right? It's really just he's going to hand the ball off. It's play action pass, a drop back pass game. Malik Willis in the game adds a whole different dimension to their offense where that will be a pain in the ass for Detroit. It definitely will. And I'm with you that if he does play, I don't look at it like, oh, man, they're screwed and they can't.
And we're going to start, as I said, right there where Ian teed us up perfectly, a clash between two NFC North powerhouses. Dan Campbell and the Lions heading to Green Bay to take on the Packers. The winner of this game will be in first place in the NFC North entering Week 10. Kyle, who do you see being on top in the standings after this matchup?
Someone has to at least force Jared Goff to throw a couple incompletions. Not interceptions, incompletions. I talked to Jared Goff this week for the network. It's going to air on Sunday. He hates hearing the word perfect. He's like, I'm not even close to perfect. I got to do all these other types of things. And I'm like, when you're going up to the line and you're like, Amon-Ra hasn't had a catch since the first quarter, or Laporta has too many today, I got to get to this guy. He goes, the team is not like that, I promise you. No one cares. We just go out there, we ball, we win. Green Bay is a very good team. Jared Goff is playing way too well right now for me to pick the Packers. I think the Lions go into Lambeau and win.
Well, this is going to be interesting territory for Jared Goff because this is going to be the first time this season that he's played outside of a dome. So how is he going to handle the elements? How is he going to be in that situation, especially when they say the temperature is going to be raining down there? Let's see how he does with that adversity.
Well, you talk about the elements to see how he does with Xavier McKinney back there. He leads the league with 6 interceptions. He got his 6th last week against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So it's going to be a good game. So that Jared Goff, Xavier McKinney exchange, I'm excited to see how that thing goes.
Intercepted by that man. X on the spot, McKinney.
He, in my opinion, is the best safety in the NFL, and it's starting to be seen by everybody. I don't even think we've seen close to how good this guy's going to be. It's just right now everybody's starting to notice it because he's got huge production, and it's not just the production. It's like I said last week, don't get bored. People aren't throwing the ball in your area. They do, and look what happens. He gets another one. I'm really proud of him, and there's so much more to come.
Congratulations to Xavier McKinney on winning NFC Defensive Player of the Month. X was the only defender with multiple interceptions, a sack, and a fumble recovery in weeks 5 through 8. And the incoming Lions have some talented safeties of their own in Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph, who both rank in the top 3 in picks, behind McKinney.
Both those safeties got really good ball skills. They're smart. They do a great job of playing with vision on the quarterback.
Intercepted. Brian Branch has it.
Great interception. I'm sure Dak didn't even see him when he let the ball go.
I see a team that really challenges you. They're going to play man coverage. They're going to get up in your grill. I think they got like 10 interceptions on the year. I just think they got smart football players, and they put them in good position, and those guys are making plays.
Very physical. They fly around as a unit, you know, and they got a lot of guys that's played a lot of high-level ball. So it's going to be one of them games. It's going to be a playoff-type game.
This is a big week for us. You know, we want to go into the bye week #1 in the division. So I mean, it's a huge, game for us.
We know, what comes behind this game. So we're not really talking much about the Lions right now. We're just preparing how we know we should, and we'll be ready to go on Sunday.
Welcome to Best of the Locker Room. Jordan Love is dealing with his second significant injury of what's been half a season. He's doing everything in his power to play against the Lions, but there's still the hurt of being hurt.
It's definitely frustrating. It's not ideal. You wish you could just go through a season, be healthy, bounce back every week. But things pop up. Like I say all the time, control what you control. So doing my best to just try and get through the week, do my best doing treatment and get myself ready. But the mental aspect, you definitely got to work on that and just stay calm, understand that injuries happen, it's part of the game, but it's definitely not ideal.
Malik Willis led the Packers to 3 wins in relief of Jordan Love. But before coming to Green Bay, he had never thrown a touchdown pass or had a 100-yard passing game. Surprisingly enough, Malik says those tough times are what made him who he is today.
I feel like those past times were more important than any time that I'm going to have in the future, more than anything. I mean, those times build your faith, literally. I mean, when it's easy and all going good, you're not as locked into those things. You're not even thinking about it. But when those times are hard and you don't have anybody picking you up, it's like, what can you lean on? And I found what I can lean on. I can trust in that, good, better, and different. So I don't look at it like as results-based, as sometimes the media may take this, like, oh, you lose, oh, you're the worst in the world, you win, you're the best in the world. I kind of just erase both of those and just go out there and have fun and enjoy this opportunity and this platform that God's given me and try to give him all the glory.
To the upcoming Lions game, and for that, we go to the NFC Defensive Player of the Month, Xavier McKinney.
To me, we've been talking about the Lions all week, so I don't know, they got what they got and we have what we have. We trust in what we do here and we trust in our scheme and we believe in our scheme. So I don't really think it's about anything that they do. It's about what we do and what we plan to do on Sunday. So we just got to keep chopping down and keep executing and keep fine-tuning the small things, the small details, and Sunday it'll show up.
Pretty well?
Yeah, Sam and I, we did our combine prep together down in Nashville. All 9 weeks of that, living together, so got to know each other pretty well.
Okay. Is he someone that you guys measure up against at all? I mean,
I don't know what the defense is doing. I'm assuming so. He had a good year last year. I don't think our defense is just going to go out there and just cut anybody loose. I'm assuming,
No, I mean it like you with them. You guys are both the same draft class, both the Sunday kind of guys. Do you kind of keep tabs that way?
Yeah, we keep in touch. If that's what you're asking. Yeah. We keep in touch. Kind of after a game, if we played the same opponent, we'll send each other texts. Or I don't know. I guess. Yeah, we're close enough.
Get friendly competition with you guys. Just to, you're not playing against each other, but just if one has a big game, the other tries to match it right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna run the plays that are called. I'm not thinking too much about it.
You're number 1 and yet he's number 2. I'm not sure if you're aware of those things. Or
No.
If it even matters to you at all.
I'm not a huge stats guy either. Sorry if I'm boring and bland.
But just as far as this game, how much, because of what's at stake with the standings and its arrival, just
Absolutely, yes. Those things are at stake. They're coming in here, and we want to send them home with us as the champs as number 1 in the North going into the bye. That's what we want. We know it's at stake, so we're gonna put our best foot forward.
Tucker, it's supposed to be raining, I think, like all day Sunday. You guys kind of had to, not kind of, you did have to deal with that yesterday at practice. How beneficial is that, just going through that yesterday, knowing that what it will be like probably Sunday?
Yeah, getting a chance to play in the elements before it happens. You're also practicing catching a wet football, the center and quarterback exchange, the quarterback to running back exchange, and then the rest down the line. But yeah, it was great to be able to go out and practice in the elements. Looking forward to doing that even more in Lambeau, something that's known for.
Jeff Hafley mentioned that there was a lot of juice yesterday too, and I guess maybe found it a little shocking just considering the way that the elements were. Is it just that funness of getting to be in the rain and feel like a kid again, or just?
Yeah. It's always fun to run around and practice. There's a little bit of some slip and slide action going on. A lot of people having to get their full foot in the ground. It was a good time yesterday.
Tucker, how much more comfortable if Malik is the guy on Sunday? Are you guys at him based on what you've seen in games from him so far?
Yeah, he's just continued to grow in the offense, and he's done everything that we've asked him to do. So if it comes down to Malik starting or coming in the game, I think we're going to be right on schedule.
It's a good day for football. The sun is shining here in Green Bay.
Just enjoy the show.
The Lions travel to Lambeau Field for a Week 9 divisional showdown.
We physical all day, and we gonna show that today.
I'll let you know if Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs can continue the Lions' hot streak, or if Josh Jacobs and Tucker Kraft can get a home win before their bye week in this game preview powered by AWS. Detroit just tacked on their 5th straight win Sunday against Tennessee, and their 4th straight putting up 31 or more points. Their offense is humming with Jared Goff leading the pack, as the Lions have recorded more touchdowns over their last 5 games than Goff has thrown in completions.
Touchdown, Detroit Lions! Yeah, boy, man!
Take a look at this play from NFL Pro Film Room. Amon-Ra St. Brown aligns in the right slot and runs a deep go route. The Vikings get pressure to Goff with a 6-man blitz, but Goff waits for his receiver to get downfield and launches right into a tight window. Just 1 yard shy of the end zone, St. Brown maintains control of the ball across the goal line to take the lead in Minnesota.
Terrific protection up front, 14 to the house, and the Lions have got the lead.
Jared Goff has performed well under pressure this season, as he recorded the most yards per attempt and the highest completion percentage on such dropbacks. They are the highest marks by any qualified passer in a season since 2018. But he'll be facing a tough Packers defense that has allowed the 5th lowest completion percentage when getting pressure.
Jared Goff fumbles for the 2nd time in this first quarter.
Amon-Ra St. Brown has been Goff's go-to guy when under pressure this season. The Lions receiver has scored a touchdown in every game since week 3, and I expect that streak to continue as I project St. Brown to rack up 6 receptions for 79 yards and a touchdown. Detroit's run game has been explosive, led by Sonic and Knuckles. Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery have led the Lions to a 48.7% rushing success rate, the highest rate of any running back room in the league.
Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
Play every drive, all right? Play every drive. Take care of your brother.
The Lions are going to force the Packers into using 7 defenders in the box in this matchup, as Gibbs leads all running backs in yards per carry against a light box. No matter how the defense aligns, I'm seeing a good day for the second-year back, recording 59 rushing yards and a touchdown to go with 3 receptions and 30 more yards.
Turns the corner to the 50. It's a foot race down the left sideline. Gibbs, end zone. There you go.
Jordan Love suffered a groin injury last week against the Jaguars, meaning the Packers will likely lean on the run game Sunday. This won't be much different for Green Bay, since they've called a league-high 10.9% run rate over expected this season, the only offense over 10% according to Next Gen Stats.
Yes!
The Lions have been successful at preventing yards gained on the ground, as they've allowed the second fewest yards after contact per rush this season. Josh Jacobs has recorded the most yards after contact in the league this season, as well as the second most such yards since entering the league in 2019. I have the running back projected for 73 yards and a touchdown, plus 3 receptions for 18 yards.
He's got Jacobs cutting it back to the end zone for his first career touchdown reception.
Since Aiden Hutchinson's injury in Week 6, the Lions have blitzed more often, nearly 16 percentage points more over the past 2 weeks than over their first 5 games. Look for Love to get the ball out quickly when the Lions send additional rushers.
Left side, Wicks got it, touchdown!
Love will likely rely on quick and short passes, making tight end Tucker Kraft an optimal target. Kraft leads all tight ends in yards after the catch over expected. Look for Kraft to have a good day with my projection of 4 receptions for 40 yards and a touchdown.
What are you waiting for? I don't know, something amazing?
This matchup will come down to the wire, but the Lions will come out with this divisional win, 25-24 in 51% of simulations.
Good win. Peace out. See you next year.
Lions and the Packers, let's talk about that briefly. That's one of the biggest games of the day. That could determine the NFC North. It could determine the number 1 seed in the NFC. Question mark for the Packers, though. Jordan Love exited the game last week with the groin injury. It happened twice, first half and second half. He's doing everything he can to come back and play. I think he came back too early from the knee injury. He wasn't the same guy against the Vikings. I just wonder who the grown-up is in the room that will say to Jordan Love, Jordan, it's fine. You're not going to lose your job to Malik Willis. We paid you $55 million a year. Let's get healthy. Let's not get caught up in, I got to get back and play. They got their bye next week. This is a great opportunity for him to go 3 weeks between games and get himself healthy. I'm afraid he's not going to be ready. It's going to show in his play, and he's potentially going to aggravate the injury.
And I tell you, even if they say if they don't win the division, but giving Jordan Love, like you talked about, Mike, and that was the first thing that I thought about, giving him 3 weeks. 3 weeks changes your mindset. It changes your body. It's such a long time during the football season to be able to get 3 weeks of rest, rehabilitation, and recovery. I agree with you, Mike. There's no way that I would even think about playing him. But even when he came off the knee injury, I had said it on the big show. I said, he's come back too soon. It's like he's rushing. We know that he's a competitor, that he's a highly competitive kid, that he wants to be out there. But at the end of the day, it's the rest that's going to really help him the second part of the season. And that's what he needs.
There was talk as of Wednesday he might not practice at all this week and still potentially play. He did practice Thursday. He was limited. Let's hear a little bit from Matt LaFleur, head coach of the Packers, on Jordan Love as he tries to will himself onto the field for Sunday's game.
To me, what factors is, can you protect yourself or not? And, can you function at a high level, a winning level? And, so we'll see where he's at. You got to be able to get out of harm's way if it comes your way. And you got to be able to function and do the things that we need you to do and that he feels comfortable doing. And if he can't, then he won't play.
That all sounds good in isolation, Rodney, but why was he still in the game on Sunday if that's all true? He clearly was impaired after he originally injured the groin. He had no mobility. LaFleur told Fox that going to either into the locker room or out of the locker room at halftime. He couldn't protect himself. He couldn't function at an appropriate level. I just don't know who's there to say to Jordan Love, hey, Jordan, you've got to sit down. You've got to come out of the game. You're going to get yourself hurt worse. You're not going to help the team. We got a backup who plays well. You're not going to lose your job to him. Let's do the smart thing here.
But it's the head coach. It's the head coach. And he's the guy that has to have the big overall picture and say, you know what, we really want to beat the Detroit Lions. Yes, we're vying for the division. But at the end of the day, this young man having 3 weeks off and really getting himself mentally and physically prepared for the second half of the season, that's the most important thing. The Packers are a team, they're not afraid to go on the road. They can go on the road and play a playoff team. We saw that last year with the Dallas Cowboys. They're not afraid to go on the road and beat teams. But Jordan Love is just so highly competitive. He wants to be out there, but it comes from the head coach. I'm saying, look, Jordan, you're going to chill these next 2 to 3 weeks. You're going to recover mentally, physically. You're going to continue to build your relationship with these young players. We're going to run the football. We're going to do what we got to do with Willis. But at the end of the day, I'm shutting you down. And that comes from the head coach.
Speaking of going on the road, the Lions, this is the first outdoor game for them all year long, and they haven't won 3 in a row at Lambeau Field or at Green Bay because they used to play half the season at County Stadium, Milwaukee, and half at Lambeau Field, but they haven't won 3 in a row at Green Bay since 86 through 88, before Brett Favre, before Don Mikowski took over in 89 and kind of turned.
Yes, it's getting chilly out here, and it might be rainy on Sunday at Lambeau Field. Either way, it's a big NFC North showdown. Packers-Lions, time for final thoughts. All right, Wes, what's at stake?
Isn't it obvious? The NFC North in early control of potentially the best division in football. The Detroit Lions have been off to such a great start this year, but the Green Bay Packers have clawed their way back into this thing. A win over the Lions propels you back to the top.
Yeah, and both of these teams are on winning streaks right now. The Lions have won 5 in a row. The Packers have won 4 in a row. It's a classic case of something's got to give. Wes, who's heating up? Presented by Aurora Heated Apparel.
The hottest player in the month of October, Xavier McKinney. And Mike, honestly, I think you can make a case that he's the hottest player in the NFL this season. This safety, man, he came into Green Bay and he has made himself at home quickly, and he's going to have a very important role in this game too. The Detroit Lions, they get after it. They have some big receiving weapons. Xavier McKinney could help take some of those away.
Yeah, and not so coincidentally, my guy in this game is the other big free agent pickup for the Packers, and that's running back Josh Jacobs, coming off of a monster game in Jacksonville, 25 carries, 127 yards, 2 touchdowns, including the 38-yarder that was his longest run of the season. Whether the Packers have Jordan Love or Malik Willis at quarterback, Josh Jacobs will be a big part of things on Sunday. Wes, I say the Packers win this game if they win the explosive play equation. Both Detroit and Green Bay have been making big plays up and down the field all season long. Defensively, you have to limit those for Detroit. You have to make them go the long way and try to grind out drives. And on the offensive side, if you're Green Bay, you have to keep making those big plays, because when the Packers do that, they score points.
Absolutely, Mike. The Green Bay Packers, for me to win this game, have to keep the Detroit Lions out of the end zone. They are one of the most explosive offenses in the National Football League, like you said. But if you look at their one loss this season, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did it because the Lions were 1 for 7 inside the red zone. It's not going to be easy. The Lions are going to get their yards, and they are going to hit some chunk plays, but limiting them to 3 or maybe even less, a huge key to victory for the Packers in this one.
No question about it. And with that, we'll sign off on this edition of Final Thoughts. Be sure to follow all of our coverage of Sunday's game on Packers.com and on all of your social media channels. Thanks for watching, everybody. Enjoy the ball game.
We welcome you to historic Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Packers and Lions, first place on the line in the NFC North.
60 minutes, man. That's all I'm asking. Whatever it takes.
That's our division. You know, we're going to be on top of the division every year.
We handle business in our division. That means playoffs and, rings, and that's where we want to get.
It's always intense. It's historical rivalries in the NFC North, man, and they got to come through Lambeau.
Lawson, left side. Wicks got it. Touchdown. Hit from behind and roped down. Devontae Wyatt with the sack. Rainbows right side. Dodds leaping grab. Sensational catch. X on the spot. McKinney.
Just enjoy the show.
All right, let's go.